In this podcast episode, Bob Proctor, a pioneer in personal development since the late 1960s, shares insights into his journey and his work on manifestation and success. Liz, the host, welcomes Bob, outlining how many recognize him from the mainstream hit documentary The Secret. Bob recounts nearly missing his opportunity to be part of that influential film due to a garbled phone message and a full voicemail box at a critical time. Fate intervened as Bob happened to be in Aspen during the film's shooting, coincidentally aligning perfectly with his seminar schedule. He vividly describes the modest setup of the filming environment, the cameras, the heat under the studio lights, and how he enthusiastically answered questions that resonated strongly with the film's core message. Bob reflects on how The Secret propelled the law of attraction into popular consciousness, highlighting that the film emphasized attracting what one desires by aligning with its frequency, though it didn't delve deeply into the mechanics behind this phenomenon. Besides his The Secret appearance, Bob also recounts recording exclusive material using a green screen that remains widely viewed online. His story underscores that even established experts sometimes face unexpected hurdles, but that openness and readiness to seize moments can lead to success. Bob's early years were marked by struggles and a lack of direction. Born during the Great Depression, with a father absent due to war, Bob felt lost amid family dynamics and societal hardship. He candidly admits to being useless in his youth, a voice many listeners can relate to, caught in cycles of temporary jobs and low self-esteem. His limited schooling, just 2 months of high school, was cut short because he was drifting without focus or goals. The turning point came when a friend named Ray Stanford gave him Think and Grow Rich, urging Bob to read it daily and trust the process. Despite doubts, Bob committed to writing down what he wanted, a simple monetary figure far beyond what he earned at the time, and reading it repeatedly. This shifted his mindset from focusing on debt to envisioning wealth. That powerful act of conscious thought reading laid the foundation for his rapid financial turnaround, moving from minimum wage to cleaning offices across multiple cities, eventually building a nationwide business. His story reveals that awakening is not tied to age or background, but to moments of clarity and willingness to adopt new beliefs. Bob identifies the unique cognitive abilities distinguishing humans from other animals, namely perception, will, reason, imagination, memory, and intuition. These faculties empower creativity and self-directed change, but remain largely untaught and underdeveloped within educational and social systems. He explains that most people operate predominantly through their senses, reacting to immediate environmental cues while ignoring the richer potential of internal faculties. Understanding and honing these faculties enables individuals to shift perception, hence transforming their lives. Perception can be deliberately changed to dissolve problems by objectively watching them as external phenomena, thereby detaching from limiting beliefs. Will, closely linked to concentration, is necessary for manifesting goals, as demonstrated by historic examples, such as Dr. Werner von Braun's succinct answer about moon travel requiring the will to do it. Intuition functions as a subtle energy reader, picking up vibrations from others, while imagination shapes reality by visually and emotionally staging one's desired outcomes. Bob highlights that mastery over these faculties is fundamental to the process of manifestation and accelerated success. Bob stresses that mentorship and education are essential ingredients on the path to greatness. Reflecting on his own mentors, including Earl Nightingale, Ray Stanford, and Bill Gove, he emphasizes the importance of faithfully executing guidance until evidence proves otherwise. Close observation and direct apprenticeship allowed Bob to absorb the behaviors and thought patterns of these giants, dramatically accelerating his own growth. He encourages listeners to seek out experts who have already achieved what they desire. This is crucial in overcoming ignorance, the fundamental barrier to change. Studying without a mentor often leads to wasted effort or confusion. Bob's journey from cleaning offices to hosting worldwide seminars illustrates how learning from others' experience shortens the learning curve. His ongoing curiosity and humility position him not merely as a teacher, but also a lifelong student, continuously improving his understanding and sharing fresh insights. Imagination emerges as a central tool in shaping one's reality. Bob debunks the common misuse of imagination, warning against visualizing failures or negative outcomes, which instead attract unwanted experiences. He advocates for vivid and emotionally charged visualization of goals as already achieved, a concept echoed by acting philosophy and metaphysics. Supporting this perspective, Bob references Stella Adler's work in method acting, which involves deeply embodying the character's state, emotion, and perspective prior to performance. Similarly, manifestors must live in the mindset of their future success intellectually and emotionally, letting this mental image catalyze physical results in time. The idea that one acts as if before the external reality catches up is critical to breaking free from limitations. This process also combats self-doubt by grounding the individual in the experience of having what they desire, rather than focusing on lack. The concept of the paradigm, a subconscious mind program, dominates Bob's explanation of why many struggle despite knowledge. This conditioned set of beliefs governs behavior more than conscious intellect, explaining why smart people fail to produce desired results. These paradigms stem from genetic and environmental programming passed across generations. Bob's vivid storytelling about insurance agents stuck in outdated practices exemplifies how deeply ingrained habits can resist change, even when new information is available. To change outcomes, one must consciously recognize limiting paradigms and commit to rewiring them gradually, often requiring repetition and conscious effort. Bob illustrates his personal experiment, writing with his non-dominant hand to physically challenge old neurological patterns, symbolizing the hard work paradigm change demands. He highlights that maintaining and improving life results depends on continual paradigm evolution, not intellectual knowing alone. At the heart of Bob's teachings is the law of vibration, the foundational universal principle that everything is in constant motion, emitting energy frequencies. Manifestation occurs by aligning one's mental frequencies with the desired outcome. Unlike the law of attraction, which is often oversimplified, vibration is the primary cause determining what reality one draws. By thinking, feeling, and believing at the frequency of what one wants, a person sends out signals that attract corresponding experiences. Bob explains that emotions act as energetic amplifiers, enabling the brain to deeply imprint goals, effectively tuning the individual to the needed vibrational level. Conversely, focusing on problems and worry lowers the frequency, attracting more of the same. Therefore, shifting to vibrant mental states of gratitude, confidence, and definitive goals reprograms vibration to manifest preferred realities faster. Fear, especially the so-called terror barrier, represents a pivotal hurdle on the path to growth. Bob admits he experiences fear but refuses to let it dictate his actions. Rather than being paralyzed, courageous individuals face fear head-on, using it as a marker of meaningful challenge and progress. Bob describes how emotional engagement with an idea initially creates conflict with old paradigms, causing fear and resistance. However, persistence through this discomfort leads to new normalcy. New paradigms replace the old ones, and fear diminishes. This process is essential for transformation. Athletes and performers regularly push their pain and discomfort thresholds, reinforcing the value of adversity in building mental strength and confidence. Bob encourages listeners to intentionally seek out growth opportunities that trigger fear as signs of positive momentum. Gratitude figures prominently in Bob's daily routine and teaching as the highest mental adjustment one can make. Inspired by Wallace Wattles and reinforced by his business partner Sandy Gallagher's experiences, Bob promotes writing daily gratitude lists to rewire thought patterns and elevate vibration. Gratitude counters stress, frustration, and negativity, fostering openness to abundance. Parallel to giving, generosity activates universal reciprocity, benefiting both giver and receiver. Bob shares emotional stories of his mother's generosity during tough times that shaped his own values. Through charitable work, including support for schools in Africa, Bob embodies this principle. He asserts that giving comes from knowing abundance is unlimited and that service to others is foundational to personal success and fulfillment. Bob's transition from extreme stage fright to accomplished speaker involved strategic learning and mindset shifts. He studied great speakers like Bill Gove and adopted practical tactics such as speaking to a single person or focusing on positive audience members to overcome negativity. A defining lesson was replacing self-consciousness with genuine interest in the audience. Being the most interested person in the room alleviates performance anxiety. Confidence, Bob underscores, emerges not from innate talent, but from relentless study, rehearsal, and service orientation. Dressing sharply, visualizing success, and embracing imperfections contribute to commanding presence. He affirms that confidence is a skill developed over time and through mindful attention to details and sincere focus on serving others. Bob demystifies wealth building, emphasizing that working harder is not the key. Instead, he highlights the principle of multiple income streams and intelligent application of universal laws. Wealthy individuals historically diversify sources of income rather than relying on one paycheck. He candidly shares his entrepreneurial roots, starting by cleaning offices and quickly expanding through smart delegation, learning, and mindset change. Bob warns against the trap of ignorance and poor financial habits that keep people trapped in scarcity. He offers practical methods to overcome debt, especially automating its repayment to clear mental space for prosperity consciousness. This paradigm shift from scarcity to abundance leads to accelerated financial freedom. Bob's message is clear. Knowledge combined with principled action fosters real wealth. When asked about greatness, Bob views it as an ongoing pursuit rather than a fixed point or static achievement. Greatness is about consistently striving to bring out one's best, growing intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually over a lifetime. He humbly notes that although he's achieved much, he still learns daily and acknowledges others who surpass him in certain areas. Greatness is thus a process of continual elevation, fueled by curiosity, willingness to learn, humility, and service. Bob believes that greatness resides within everyone, accessible through commitment to self-improvement and helping others. His work exemplifies a life dedicated to this ideal, never arriving, always evolving.